Hi Stampin' Friends, tonight we're going to use the Storybook Friends Storybook Moments Designer Series paper, or Suite, whichever you want to call it, and the Storybook Garden Patch stamp sets and dies. This one is the one with the little animals. There are several, like 5 bunnies and chipmunks and that kind of thing, and there's a little tiny house right there that you can put in the background of if you're making a scene. And then there's a little hedgehog with an apron on, and then a rock wall and a garden. It's just a lot of fun. So you can put welcome little one. So what I think is cute about that is if you combine it with the Storybook Garden Patch, you could do a little play on like a Cabbage Patch kind of a thing with the welcome little one, or you can just have a little tiny bunny. So kind of cute. And then I also wanted to show you the papers again to remind you. This is the one that has a bunch of houses. It has all these nice papers that you can cut into like background pieces and various other bits. And they have hold on just a second, a couple of, this one has bunnies on it. And then strawberries on the back, just so gorgeous. And I really enjoy using this one. Of course, since I'm the Stampin' Bunny, I'm gonna buy a bunny set. But it is a really fun one to use, I think, would be for anyone who enjoys spring and little animals and cutesy things. So the first thing I'm gonna do is show you some cards that I made for class, and show you some ways to use. I have these little bags that I've made of different little pieces that are in the die cuts that come with the paper. So I have several different things tonight. I'll try to be mindful of your time. So this first card I made where we were using this design. So I did use the Timeless Plaid, which is part of the thing. And it has a lot of cameo coral, a lot of boho blue, a lot of Lost Lagoon, and some greens and browns in it. And it's perfect for making your card more masculine. So all the stamping and coloring I did was just the strawberry, and that's from the Garden Patch stamp set. So you can see just the little strawberries right there, real small and cute. And then I put them on with this paper, and I love the way that this paper has a lot of colors that coordinate from one side to the other. So that looked really cute. And then the inside was finished off just with a white liner for you to sign and some more of the plaid paper. It was so simple, really easy to put together, and you could make several of those quickly. They could be thank yous or varieties of things. All right, this card, I think when I show it to you, you will understand my inspiration. There's a card that's called like a sidestep card. And so this is kind of just half of it. What would happen on the other side of the card, now don't look at this for size, is there would be a step over here. So there'd be decorations, and then there would be like a display here of maybe the main image or the main sentiment. But I wanted to have my own little garden patch. So what I did was do some stamping and some die cutting. So these die cuts come with the set. So you can tuck things, have things in your garden. I just stuck down the cabbage head and the watering can. But I like that you can make this kind of interactive and just tuck those in. Makes it super sweet. And then at the bottom, I have another garden looking area and a stone wall, and then this little chipmunk with his basket full of, I'm going to call them strawberries. I'm not sure that they definitely are, but I think that makes it cute. And just coloring those, a couple of them I used Stampin' Write markers instead of my blends because they were so tiny, so little and small, so it made it easier to get to that. And then this back is just a piece of the paper with the gardening tools, shoes, and whatever on the back of it. And then our little bunny here. And so the point here, this little guy has a harvest item, and he has a little turnip. And I thought, thank you so much could be cute for if someone gives you a little bit of the bounty of their garden, then it would be super sweet to give them this. Now, I had someone ask me, well, how's that going to go in an envelope? Well, it would fit, but it might get, these pieces, it might have a little bit too much tension and they might bend. So if I were going to slide it into into a card, this is 4 inches right here. And, you know, typically a card is just 4 1/4. So I would, you know, hold it down here, slide it in the card, you know, make sure everything's laying flat and call that good. Another thing I did, a little tip, is you could stamp these in white, but I stamped these all on our basic beige, and I think it makes it go with the paper really well, because you can probably see there that the paper is basic beige. So that makes it nice. So there is the first card. I wanted to just kind of show you. I didn't want to, that has a lot of coloring on it, and I didn't want to bore you with watching me color so many things. So this, if you wanted to make your own little garden patch, it's an 8.5, of course, by 5.5, or 8.5 by 5.5 piece of paper. And then it is scored at 1, 2, 3 1/4, 4.5, and 6.5, which is like the base of a side step card. So then all you have to do is just fold it. And it's super simple and super easy. So like that, and then there you go. So there you've got your little garden area. Now this card is one that we used at class, and it's a tent topper. Tent toppers are only, let me tell you, 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So what that means is when you have your regular 8.5 paper, you cut it at only 4 1/4 here, and that makes it a little square card. But the tent topper part is what expands it out to where it stays under. You want to be sure that it stays under 5.5, but it will still fit in an envelope nicely. So this little card has, this set has these great little background frames. So like this kind of a frame, and then it has an arched frame, like it seems like maybe it would have a mirror in it, like that. And then this really ornate oval type frame. So this would be great if you were scrapbooking to put some tiny pictures in, maybe some school pictures or something like that. So those are a lot of fun. We'll work with some of these bright colors in a minute. There is also the piece of paper that has vegetables on the back, and then on this side it has houses. So you can kind of play with it, put it where you want it in the frame, and then just cut it off. I cut this with the banner from the one we used last week, birthday celebration. So we would put our numbers on here, but it just made it easier for me because it's just about the right size to stay under here and not show, and then you just cut it off where you need it. So that made that simple for me. And so kind of what you do is just pick which one you think is the cutest and line it up on there. So like this one has a lot of vegetable garden showing. So I thought that was a nice one to use. So let's use that one tonight. So one thing that's a little weird about this, I put a piece of brown paper behind this. If you were giving it to someone, it might be nice to let the light shine through these little edges here instead of putting brown paper. So that's kind of, I'm not going to do that tonight. It's just going to kind of be up to you. But I had to cut in on the brown square that I had made to make it not show, but I wanted it behind these pretty intricate details that were on there. Okay. So I'm just going to take my glue. I have put our green glue in this little tiny ended bottle. It's not our bottle. It was an empty bottle. And I just think it's going to help me a lot because I can control a little better how much I'm putting on, or put a whole lot less than I would normally put. The reason I prefer our glue to any other glue, or the glue that would typically be in that, is because our glue gets sticky. If I use that glue, I slide my project all over the world. So I just kind of like to have it be a little stickier. Okay, so I chose this spot to frame my image. And all I'm gonna do is just cut this off right across here. Oopsie, just a second. There you can see that I've just cut it to size on the back. Super simple. Just want to make sure that none of the paper shows through when you're ready to put it on your card. And then these little guys, I had stamped them on basic beige. So the reason I wanted to use white, because I thought it would be easy to show you them on some other cards when I finished. Another thing to consider, like you wouldn't have to put 2 on there. You could just have one little Easter greetings guy. And I wanted to talk about using the craft Stampin' Pad, because I think we forget about it sometimes, and put it on his ears and a couple of places just to give him more detail. Of course, his tail will be the first thing because I want it to be really white. I want to do it while I have plenty of ink on my blender pen. What I've done here is just use an old one. You know, it doesn't have any blender pen stuff in it anymore. And I don't mind getting some white on it. I'm just going to put on the ears here. And then I just want to let this dry and go back over it with some color here in a minute. You'll want to be careful because the blender pen might lift up a little bit of the color, but for the most part it should be fine. I'm just going to add really light white under here. I don't want it to be really, really white. I just want it to be a light place. Doing his belly and his little feet. And this is something that's not, you don't need to be meticulous. You just kind of, you know, you want it to be fairly dry. You just kind of are highlighting spaces that might not have a lot of color. We just around his eyes a little bit. Just kind of blends it a little bit and makes it a little less stark, like it's just all brown. Okay, so that was really quick, you can tell. And then I'm gonna take my card base, which this is Lost Lagoon, and this is the back side, I guess you'd say. It's like a lattice filigree kind of a look. This is the one that has the cute little chipmunks on it. And do that. And pop this on. That wasn't what I meant to do. I meant to do that. Because I was just like, this way it makes an X. The other way it doesn't. I'm going to show you how I put together this. Hold on, I should put it where you can see it. The Easter greetings part of this. This used you remember the thoughtful moments or whatever they were in the spring? Those really cute things made with the end colors. These guys. So I put this on, this layer is from the Linked Together. That was one of the bundles that was in the mini this time. But what's great about it is when you use it, you can put it and it'll allow you to glue. It's ever so slightly too large for this spot. And you can glue it here and it doesn't show. So I just thought that was fantastic. So there's that. And then on top of that, I'm just gonna put my Easter greetings. I stamped that in Coastal Cabana because it was a little bit dark. Using the Lost Lagoon, it just almost looked like forest green, like I had stamped it in forest green, and I didn't go for that. And I'm just holding this with my fingers so that I make sure that I get it about equidistant from each side. There we are. And then this piece, I'm just gonna put on around the edge there. Put a few little dots. All right, so easy peasy with that. Now I'm just gonna go in and glue this down. I'll just kind of tack it down. And what I like about using this versus using the glue to stick my card, just, you know, stick it down, is if I make a mistake or change my mind, it's a lot easier using our glue to go back and fix it. So there you can see the difference in how it looks if you use the brown behind versus just leaving it open. So there's that. And then I'm going to put him right here on the side. So let's stick this down. Put my Easter greetings kind of over to the side. And then let's go ahead and get some dimensionals and pop him up. And you don't need a ton of dimensional. I'll put him right there. Then I have here light, pretty, and pink. So what I'm going to do, whoopsie, don't want to use that end. This end is really for coloring, and I prefer that no one use mine at my classes. I like them to use this end because you can't damage it. You just really can't. It's like a Sharpie, and it's perfect for coloring like this, adding a lot of color like I'm trying to do. And it is easy to, like if I were to get a spot of white on here, if I colored too quickly, it would be easy to just rub it off of this one, whereas the other one would probably be damaged by that. Okay, I'm putting a little on his nose, and I put some on his ears. Go. And then I just want to put a little bit of Lost Lagoon on his bow tie. And I hope that I'm not sorry that Lost Lagoon is what I'm choosing. Oh, nope, it's perfect. Just kind of highlights it there. So there you can see how it looks when it's stamped on crumb cake. And then these things are color add-ons after I've put some white craft on there. So I would just finish this up, you know, fairly easily by just adding some trim, of course, wherever I might decide it looks better, down here or whatever. And then these are our antique pearls, and they're super pretty. They have a, let's see, they have a little iridescence to them, and they are a little bit more beige than white. So, okay, so I'm going to set this aside a second, and we're going to talk for a minute about this guy. Oh, I didn't do the right one. Well, you know how it goes sometimes. I wanted to show him with this beautiful strawberry paper. So I was imagining, so you'll just have to kind of dream with me here that this is green. Not really sure what happened. And imagine putting this, now of course this wouldn't be one to mail, or you could put a layer of cardstock around it. Just like put it like this around it. That would keep it neat in your envelope. But what I was thinking here is there's so many possibilities with the paper. So this is the back side of the strawberry paper, and it would make a super cute little guy, and you would just put your hello friend or your happy Easter at the bottom, and that would be super sweet. My other plan actually did involve using this yellow and using, let's go ahead and just do this one, I think. Sometimes, I don't know if you've seen me do this, but sometimes I put it on like this and mount it on one side and have it just be like as if it's on a full-size card front, but it just kind of gives it a different look and makes a different style card than you're used to seeing. Just, you know, change it up. I was like, everyone sees your card be kind of plain, and instead you get to do it like that. So I'm just gonna put a little bit, not much, on this one. Stick it down. Scoochy scooch. Whoop, I'm scooching too much. Okay. Gosh, now it's stuck down. If I didn't want it stuck down, it would be, and if I don't, it is. Okay, so then just putting this in here kind of creates a plain background. So I'm just gonna put this glue around again, and I want it this way. So what I'm doing is just going around this little edge here as close to the edge as I can. So I don't want too much showing. I'm like, oops, I got off there, but that's all right. I bet it'll cover. And then I'm just layering this on top. So you could have used, instead, you could have used a designer series paper, but this will give it a little more heft. You can see kind of that. And white would also be pretty behind it. I'll just put 2. It's plenty. And then just pop this guy right in the middle. Well, not right in the middle, you know what I'm saying. A little bit up, because I'm saving a little bit of room for whatever sentiment we decide to put on there. And then we'll just put our cute little bunny right in the middle. I think she's very sweet. So I'm just gonna go ahead and color her dress light, pretty, and pink with my blends. It goes pretty quickly. I'm gonna leave her collar white, just personal preference. You can do it however you want it. Coloring a little skirt. Another thing I love about this, it doesn't matter if you scribble, it just looks great. However you color them, it looks awesome. So I kind of want to just add a little more. I just go back over it a little bit in the places that I want to have shadow. Okay, then I'm going to put a little on her ear. And just the ear that's kind of facing us. Maybe on her nose as well. Maybe her little feet. Just a little. Now, you could just be finished. You could have a little white bunny, and that's super sweet. You can see. Or you can go ahead and use your light crumb cake and color your bunny like a little wild bunny, like a little Peter Rabbit style, or Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, you know, families of Peter Rabbit. You can see I'm coloring that. It'd be totally fine for me to color upside down. I don't know why I'm not doing that. Coloring around the ear. And this is the back side of the ear, so I'm coloring it all brown. Okay, perfect. I actually have a cousin that loves bunnies, so I think it would be really sweet to just put a happy birthday on there. So that could be super cute. All right, and for my last one, what I was gonna do is show this one with some pieces, let's see here, torn. So this is the inside of this. What I thought would be cute is to tear the bottom like I do a lot of times. Hold on, I want to tear it the other way. Yep. And make it have a little garden and sky look, like that. And then you can, at that point, put any of your little bunnies on there that you might color. And it just makes a nice little scene. Because I do feel like that this set is all about scenes and how we can make things look like a scene. I wanted to kind of show you a couple of these. We have little geese and goslings and ducklings and whatever. So you could just pop her right on there, and that would be a super sweet design. And then also all of the ones that have a stamp are here, but there are also some that are kind of simple and their own. That's one reason these are so cute that I did want to show you that you still have a cute thing, even if you run out of these at some point and you want to use this still. There, you can use it without the matching paper, without this, and it's still super cute for Easter time or springtime cards. These I thought were very interesting. They all have a mate. So there's a skunk or a badger. I don't know what that's supposed to be for certain. He's going fishing and she is crocheting. I'm not really sure why we crochet in the garden. But then we have a little squirrel couple and a little, I guess, I don't know what these are. Ermine, maybe? I don't know what they are. Otters, some kind of little animals, badgers. They're a little couple. And then we have the sheep. Nope, that's not the sheep. Hold on. There's the sheep. And these little sheep are dressed like a colonial couple. So she's got a little hat on her, a little cap on her head, and he has a waistcoat, and it's just comical and cute. So I kind of wanted to show you those. There are a ton of little flower pieces in this. There are hats and buckets and shoes and little fence lines and things like that. So I think there's just a lot of cute, sweet things that you can do with this. And I think that you will be happy if you choose it. Like, look, chasing butterflies, just so adorable. I appreciate you all watching, and I hope that you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.